Hello everyone, and welcome to day number 45 of your daily Chofetz Chaim. Today we continue with the fourth chapter of the laws of Lashon Hara. The Chofetz Chaim writes in halacha number 9 that now we will return to that with which we began the chapter, and that was that it is forbidden to speak about someone's negative midos, their bad traits. For example, if you see that someone is haughty or someone gets angry in an inappropriate way, or anything like that, those are certainly degrading, and it is forbidden to relay that information to others about someone, even if it is absolutely true. And that person is not considered to be a rasha to the point that we're allowed to speak lashon hara about them, because perhaps he's done tshuva, he has repented, and he feels bad about the fact that he has these bad midos and regrets acting upon them or with them, and therefore he is not considered to be a rasha. And the Chofetz Chaim continues and says that even if you see that this person is regularly exhibiting these bad midos, and you see that he's not regretting it and he's not feeling bad about it, perhaps he simply doesn't know the severity of these things. He doesn't realize, perhaps as we know, that these are true prohibitions and that they are very terrible for a person. But perhaps, as we see today, there are many people who keep the Torah and everything, but they don't realize that these negative traits, these bad midos, are very much against the Torah and need to be uprooted from a person's personality. And the Chofetz Chaim continues, he says, if people just think that maybe it's just not a good thing to do, but they don't understand the severity of it, then that is not enough to make someone a rasha based on that, even if they do it knowingly and they aren't trying to fix it. And perhaps if they were to understand the severity of it, then they would try to fix it and they would seek help and do whatever they needed to do in order to get rid of these bad midos from themselves. As we find, the Talmud tells us that if we need to know if somebody did something as a mazid or a shogeg, he did it on purpose or by mistake, and he knows that what he did was wrong, but he doesn't know the severity of the punishment that that prohibition carries, that is considered to be a shogeg. It's considered to be by mistake, so to speak, even though he knows what he did. Since he did not understand the severity of it, he is not considered as culpable as someone who does. So the same would apply over here as well, that perhaps this person just doesn't understand how bad it is to exhibit and use these bad midos. And on the contrary, if you do see that somebody is this way, then you should approach them privately and try to explain to them how bad these things are and help guide them to correct their ways. And this way you will have also fulfilled the mitzvah of Hacheach Techiach Es HaMisecha, that we should rebuke our fellow Jews when it is appropriate in a way that is appropriate. And perhaps then he will understand how bad it is, but at least until then, we have to realize that, as the pasuk says, "Kol derech ish yasher be'inav," every person's way is straight in their eyes, meaning that people think that they're doing the right thing and that what they're doing isn't a bad thing, and therefore it would be forbidden to speak lashon hara about a person because of these bad midos. And halacha number 10, the Chofetz Chaim continues and says that even so, if we do see that somebody does have a bad midah like anger or haughtiness or anything that we've already mentioned, or other bad midas, or perhaps he doesn't learn Torah when he's supposed to, when he has the opportunity, it is proper to speak to this person's children and to his students and to warn them and explain to them that they should stay away from this individual in order that they should not learn from his bad ways. Because the main idea that the Torah prohibited, speaking negatively of others, is where the purpose of speaking is to degrade the other person and to feel good about their being put down. But in our scenario, where the person's intention is to save someone from being influenced, then that would certainly be allowed, and it is even a mitzvah. However, the Chofetz Chaim does say that it would seem that under these circumstances, it is also a mitzvah to explain yourself, meaning to explain to the person why you are speaking negatively of their parent or teacher, or rebbe, because otherwise they might think, oh, this must be so bad that this person is considered to be a rasha, and we can speak negatively about him and things are going to get out of control. Or the person might also wonder, well, what are you doing? For one day you tell me you're not allowed to speak lashon hara, and the next day you're coming and telling me something negative about someone. So in order to keep these issues from coming up, a person who is going to speak negatively of someone in order to save someone else from being influenced by them, you need to explain yourself and explain why, under these circumstances, you are saying what you're saying and why it is permitted to say what you are saying. And with this, you will avoid the severe prohibition of Lashon Hara.